Stop talking negatively about yourself. Welcome to McBain Moments. All right, you know the drill. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, if you like what I do, please consider becoming a patron. Link to my Patreon is in the description. One of the biggest ways we screw ourselves is with words and phrases, even in jest, that are insulting to ourselves. And some self-deprecative humor is acceptable, but when it's constant, all you're doing is impacting yourself in a negative light. So, you know, if you're saying, I'm ugly all the time, if you're saying, my voice is annoying all the time, if you are calling yourself dumb, and this is how a lot of like high school students end up putting themselves into a rut, so they just kind of float through life the rest of their lives. You know, like the kids who are traditionally the bullies, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm honestly dumb, and so yeah, I pick on the smart guy, but the smart guy is the one I need to talk to when I don't know what I'm doing, which is a lot. The reason you're having so many problems is because you look in the mirror and you call yourself dumb. The reason you have a hard time when people say you look good is because you look in the mirror and call yourself ugly. Stop. If you're not a comedian, stop with the self-deprecating humor. And I'm as guilty of it as anyone. But seriously, unless you're a comedian and it's part of your job, because a lot of them write self-deprecating jokes as part of their shtick, and I get that, that's their job. But even then, comedians have, a huge percentage of comedians have depression. Look at Robin Williams. He lost his life to depression. And he did a lot of self-deprecating jokes. All of his personalities had self-deprecating jokes, and I use that term loosely, not in the psychological sense, but in all the characters that he played. Don't insult yourself. You can look yourself in the mirror and be honest and say, I need to improve on this. I need to get better at that. And then you write that down as a goal, and you start working toward it. That's different. That's you looking for self-improvement. But when you look yourself in the mirror, or even just talking to a friend, you're just like, well, I'm too dumb for that. Or I can't handle that. I can't deal with that. Or, no, they're not going to talk to me because I don't look the right way. I'm too ugly. Why would they even look at me? All you're doing is self-sabotage. All you're doing is self-sabotage. No one sees me. Well, maybe no one sees you because you're too busy hiding and you don't even realize it. Yeah, let that set in for a sec. Maybe people do see you, but because every time they go to compliment you, you reject the compliment, they've stopped. Because who wants to be rejected? Well, think about it for a second. If you are so self-negative that you can't accept a simple compliment from someone, people are going to stop giving you compliments because it's not worth it. They're going to walk away. Because it sounds like you don't even want to put the effort forth. And then you see that the compliments stop coming. So you do stop putting the effort forth. And you just kind of slide through life. And then someday you're going to get to the point where it's like, well, everyone around me is getting MacGuffins and praise and cheers, and I'm not good enough, and I don't understand why. You are good enough. But you self-sabotaged so much. You paid so much attention to the I can't, or I don't, you stopped caring. And because you stopped caring, you stopped achieving. And because you stopped achieving, there was nothing to recognize. Stop the self-deprecation. Stop with self-sabotage. And most importantly of all, don't make any individual rejection entirely about you. If you go to someone and you're like, I know you're really good at this, can you teach me? And they say no, it may not be you. It might be some other factor. In fact, 90% of the times, it probably is. It's like, I don't have the ability or the time in my life to teach you right now. I have too many other things on my plate. That's not you. That's their life. If that happens, you can always go, okay, you don't have the spoons to be able to teach me. I get that. Do you know someone who does? Is there someone you can introduce to me to that does? Or if there is a personality conflict, or they're afraid of a personality conflict, which does happen, just because you're good friends doesn't mean you'll make a good teaching relationship. I learned that. Person I wanted to teach me fencing, personality mesh for me to learn from. So he introduced me to someone else and said, he's like, I don't think I'm going to be a good teacher for you, but this guy over. But sometimes they're not going to automatically do that. No, they don't always think of that. You have to ask. Don't take the rejection as a personal insult. You have no clue what's going on in the other person's life or brain space. Take the next step and ask, do you know someone who can? Who would you suggest? And stop looking down on yourself. Know that you can achieve. Know that you can move further. Accept it. And be more than you are. This has been a McBain moment.